Hey everybody, it's Jim here, and today's going to be a really fun video. We're going to be doing a review slash demonstration of the 2020 Parallel Universe Volume 2 Fender Troublemaker Telecaster. We're going to start off by putting this guitar on the bench and checking out some of the specifications. Then we're going to give it a playthrough through two different amplifiers, the Vox AC15 and then the Friedman Pink Taco version 2 for some more gainier style of music. I realize that this guitar is no longer available to purchase new. However, this was a requested video, and I figured while I still have it in my possession, I might as well oblige because I do enjoy playing this guitar. That out of the way, let's get started by putting this guitar on the bench. The Troublemaker Telecaster is a fairly straightforward design, however it does have a few cool unique features to it. It's a mahogany body with one layer of binding only on the top, none on the back of the instrument, with gold hardware and appointments everywhere on it. You have a three-way selector switch similar to a Gibson Les Paul, a Cabronita pickguard, which is one of my favorite pickguards on Telecasters. These pickups are called double taps, and what's really cool about these is they're splittable, but they're not push-pulls. They're push-push, and I greatly prefer that if I'm going to have that option on any electric guitar. And a Adjust-O-Matic bridge, as well as a stop tailpiece. Going on to the rear of the guitar here, nothing much to see, but I think it's worth pointing out, if you're somebody who plays a traditional Telecaster, you don't have a tummy cut, so this is going to feel very at home, and not all of the Fender Telecaster style guitars and variations that they've made in the past have that. A lot of them do have the tummy cut. Rounding things out, we do have the golden limited edition neck plate. And some details about the neck. You do have a 12-inch radius on an ebony fingerboard that do have the beautiful block inlays on it. You have a bone nut. You do have medium jumbo sized frets. It's called a modern C as far as the profile of the neck goes. I measured this at the 1st and the 12th fret when I did a string change on this guitar. It was 0.82 at the 1st fret and 0.86 at the 12th fret. So definitely living up to the name of a modern neck. If you're somebody who's used to something a little bit beefier, this might not be up your alley. However, if you're somebody who likes a faster playing neck or something just a little bit smaller, this will be like absolute butter in your hands, in part because of that, but also in part because of the finish that they used on it. It's a satin nitrocellulose. It is so smooth to play this guitar. I really enjoy it. And finally, we do have our big old 70s style matching headstock with the Telecaster Deluxe logo on it and all the gold hardware, including the string tree. Another nice thing about this model is you can adjust the truss rod from the top of the neck, meaning you don't need to take the thing apart should you need to make any adjustments. And finally, we have gold non-locking tuners on the back. So my first impressions of this guitar are the same as the first time I ever saw it on the internet. It is an absolute stunner. This is gorgeous, dude. The weight of this guitar is actually on the lighter side for this model, being just over 8 pounds. I've seen some of them close to 10, and if you're somebody who is used to playing traditional Telecasters, that is a stark difference in the weight. But it's time for the sound samples. We're going to start with the Vox. Mic'd up by the SM57, going right into Pro Tools. Any additional reverb you hear will be from the Vox. We're not going to be using any pedals for any of that stuff. And then we're going to go into the Pink Taco for the same kind of rig. Although if you do hear any sort of time-based effects, it will be from the Strymon Bellante. All right, let's get down to brass tacks here. This is a really, really good guitar that I have a lot of fun playing, but there are a few things that I would like to highlight about it before I talk about some other competition for this guitar, should you not be able to find one of these, including the Japanese versions, because I've owned 2 of those in the past. The first thing that stands out to me with this guitar are these double tap humbuckers. These are by far the best Fender factory humbuckers that I have ever used. There's a few reasons for that. First of all, with gain, obviously, as you heard, this thing absolutely rips. It is a monster. However, with the clean tones, very, very, very good. I was surprised at how well they sounded split, and the fact that you do have the push-push instead of a push-pull, it's really easy on the fly to just smack real quick and change into a different kind of tone. And if you want to experiment with having one pickup being in full humbucker and one split, you can do that very easily in the middle position, and the results, as you may have heard, maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't, I think that they're really, really great. Another big pro to this might be a bigger pro to you than it is to me. This is a very fast playing neck. It's partly down to the actual finish itself on the back of the neck, the satin nitrocellulose, but it's thin. A little thin for, you know, a traditional kind of Telecaster player, but that being said, it's effortless. This is a very, very easy guitar. It feels like a modern guitar. It performs like a modern guitar, and it looks absolutely killer. Now, one question I often saw and had myself in regards to this style of guitar, how does it stack up against a Gibson Les Paul? I made a video comparing the Japanese version of this with a Les Paul Standard 50s, and my analysis from that video is going to be exactly what I'm going to share with you right now. This is its total own thing. I really love it. It's not just like a Les Paul, but no guitar really is. And if you really want a Gibson Les Paul sound, you should probably be purchasing a Gibson Les Paul. Albeit though, I do enjoy a lot about this guitar. And if you go into it with the mindset of you want something unique, you want something different, because this is very different from a Les Paul, despite the fact that this can absolutely rip with higher gain on it like a Gibson, then you got nothing to worry about. This is something you should absolutely consider in that instance. Comparing it with the Japanese Troublemakers, though, now that's a different story. As far as the actual playability, the feel, and the construction, I feel no difference. I was expecting maybe this would feel a little bit better. It's not an insult to the American one. The Japanese ones are just that good. The necks are phenomenal on both this and the Japanese models. The biggest difference is going to be in the aesthetic of the guitar, because you're not getting as fancy of a guitar as far as that aspect of it goes. You're not getting any of the gold hardware. You're getting chrome hardware. You're not getting blocks. You're not getting binding. And the other thing, though, that you're not going to get with the Japanese version, which is an easy fix should you want to go the aftermarket route anyways, the pickups. You are not getting these pickups. You are getting some modern voiced 2, I believe is what they call them in Japan, that do not have coil splitting, so it's just 2 straight up humbucking pickups. I thought they sounded great, but that guitar in its stock form is not as versatile as this one. It's also worth noting that the American version of this guitar does come with a hard shell case, and the Japanese versions come with a gig bag. However, if you are okay with a little bit of a less flashier look, not sacrificing the actual feel and the build quality, maybe the Made in Japan might be the way to go for you if you are shopping around for a Troublemaker. You'll save a whole hell of a lot of money, because these things are not cheap anymore, and they are not abundant on the used market. However, overall, I really like this guitar. Not much to say about it. There's a reason why this is my 3rd Troublemaker, my first American one, but They're just cool. They're really cool. I'd like to hear from you guys in the comments down below. What did you think about this guitar? What do you think about this model in general? Would you like to see this as a standard production run model, maybe going forward into the future for Fender USA or Fender Japan? Let me know. Other than that, thank you for watching. Feel free to like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you'd like to support the channel, and outside of that, go play your guitar, have fun, and tell somebody that you love them. I'm out of here. Take it easy.